Let's hear them very shortly from your ring announcer. And then we'll hear from your commentators, John Rawlings and Barry Jones. Brad Foster against Ashley Lane then, for the British and Commonwealth Super Bantamweight Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues with 12 rounds scheduled, and it will be for both the British and Commonwealth Super Bantamweight Championships. Brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red and Foot Asylum. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, steward in charge, Mick Collier. Our 3 judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Terry O'Connor of England, Marcus McDonald of England, and Victor Laughlin of Scotland. Our referee in charge will be Mark Lyson of England. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he's wearing red with yellow and weighed in at 8 stone, 8 pounds. A native of Northampton, he is now fighting out of Bristol and has a professional record consisting of 13 wins, 8 defeats, 2 draws, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the defending Commonwealth Super Bantamweight Champion, Ashley Flash Lane. And his opponent across the ring in this championship contest, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing red and gray and weighed in the same as his opponent, 8 stone, 8 pounds. Hailing from Lichfield, Staffordshire, he is undefeated with 10 wins, 1 draw, 3 of his 10 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the defending British Super Bantamweight Champion, Brad Foster.
Okay, boys, I spoke to you both in the dressing room. You know what I expect. Stay professional, obey my commands, and protect yourselves at all times. Okay, boys, touch gloves.
Really good trade fight in the making, this one. British and Commonwealth belts at stake. And Brad Foster became the British champion with a really top performance, beating Josh Wale of Wales' home territory up in Barnsley back in March. Ash Lane, though, talking to him through the week, I can tell you that he really does think that he has Foster's number. Foster, though, so big for the weight. Look at the size of him compared to Lane. Some 3 or 4 inches the taller man. Fights out of Lichfield. Steve Bunn's territory.
Yeah, it is. The accent would belie that for Bunsey, of course. But what Lane lacks in maybe physical size against Foster, he gains in experience. He's got a wealth of experience. He's been travelled all around the country, mainly as an opponent. Be chucked in late notice fights. But when he was given the opportunity to box for the Commonwealth title, he took it with both hands. And really, that Thomas Kindon fight where he was then defeated, that was a real, when you start to think, actually, Lane's got a bit of talent here and he can be pushed on.
Well, he's certainly, I think, improved since he's moved down with the Sanagars. Chris and Jamie down in Bristol. Proud man of Northampton, of course, but now based down in the southwest. Not picked up the accent yet, mind you. Brad Foster getting to this stage with absolutely no amateur pedigree at all. Didn't have a single amateur fight, but he came through a martial arts background. And talking to PJ Rowson, his promoter, he says that, okay, he hasn't had those amateur fights, but as a kickboxer, he always relied a lot on his power as a puncher, and that's shown and served him well. Yeah,
but I'm surprised. It's amazing he's had the amateur experience, because I think he's like a real neat boxer as well. I don't think it's all about the power with him. I think he keeps his shape well. He throws lovely correct punches, and You know, it's hard to believe he had no amateur experience.
Well, he regularly spars Cal Yafai, the WBA super featherweight champion, so if you can hold your own in that company, it suggests that you're a decent practitioner. Interesting to see how this one pans out. Lane says, if you think that I'm just a come-forward fighter, I'll show you that I'm a little bit more than that. So I've got a little bit more in my armoury.
It's good there, though, from Foster. And that's it, sharp.
Great shot. Right hand catching him square, putting him down. How much lasting damage has been done, if any? Lane looks clear-eyed, but he's down for the first time in the opening round.
He took a right hand just before the winner threw him down. I think he was a little bit upset with himself that he took that right hand and just held his feet and got caught again just on the temple.
Well, Foster's going looking for him. Not looking in any mood to hang around in there, Brad Foster. Lane appears to have recovered okay, but has to take another left hand and a right hand to the head. Move his corner shout to Ash Lane. Big, big round to Brad Foster.
Okay. Let me do it. Rinse. Don't rush nothing.
Dan Martin giving instructions in the corner. Let's watch again how it came, Barry.
Just before that, I just seen him counter with a right hand, and he didn't move his feet after that there, did Ashley Lane, and then it was just a short chopping right hand over the top. It was a lovely shot. He sort of disguised because he dipped to the left like he was going to throw a left hook to the body, and then just whipped that right hand over the top. And that's later on in the fight there, but again he lands with a nice little left hook and a right hand there. Foster came out nice and sharp.
Well, what a dream start.
10 seconds.
Wondering if it was going to be a hard night.
Seconds out.
He has
Round
made a
2.
terrific opening to this fight. Brad Foster, the British champion, big early advantage against the Commonwealth champion Ash Lane. Flash Ash needs to be precisely that now.
Well, he does. You've got to get beyond the jab. I think that's the problem for Lane. If he can get behind that, if he get underneath the jab or inside the jab of Foster, he can go to work. It's a nice sharp, it's a spearing punch. And Foster lets it go. I think that's just putting... Oh, lovely uppercut there from Foster again. Just got to rough him up a little bit, use that little bit of man strength if he can there, Ashley Lane. Rough him up, push him and pull him around a little bit. Stick the head in. Just try to get this Foster out, the young Foster out of his rhythm. Use all that experience that you've gained throughout the years.
Brilliant start though for Foster. Trained by his dad Martin, who's a Lichfield car dealer.
Nice right hand there from Lane.
Nice little uppercut inside as well from Lane.
It's lovely work. And again from Foster, beautiful.
Impressively accurate, Barry, and the fact he's not had this amateur pedigree, it's extraordinary. Look, he just looks so well schooled.
Yeah, does, and nice and calm as well, and relaxed. Just got to make sure he still stays nice and busy. Doesn't allow Lane to be too busy in front of him and just maybe slightly outwork him. Oh, what a shot. Took it well, Lane, to his credit, because he got caught when he was throwing.
Caught him again. So accurate.
Lovely little move there, just rolled around the body with his shoulders to get big space for that right hand.
Sparring with Cal Yafai, I told you about. Cal Yafai beat Ash Lane a few years back. I wonder if he's had 1 or 2 tips. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm sure he's helped him out.
Already some marking below that left eye on the face of Lane, who does have a tendency to cut.
To be fair to Lane, he wasn't far off with that right hand then when he let it go.
One blemish on Foster's record was a draw against Brett Fido.
Sometimes when you turn pro young, you can be outmanned sometimes. You see that from time to time. And I think that's what Lane should try and do to Foster right now. Because again, for me, another nice sharp round there from Brad Foster. When someone dips their head, all that extra weight as well, and let the right hand go.
Use your brain,
It's a good shot and well taken.
Listen, got a beautiful jab. Take your miss. In the later rounds, that's when you can come on strong. You can come on strong there. But to start with, we've got to slow him down in these early rounds. All right?
First round,
Second out.
10-8 in Foster's favour. Give him the second as well.
Yes, I did.
So we move into the third round of this British and Commonwealth title fight. Looks as though we're going to see the end of the first round at one point, never mind the third.
No, it didn't. But we know Lane's a tough character and shook it off and came back.
Oh, he's taken another big right hand there.
Again, he's getting caught. He's getting caught when he's throwing as well. That's the problem.
Oh, good shot. He almost goes again. And here comes Foster trying to pour it on. Bravely trying to come back off the ropes, Lane.
Oh, good shot there again from Foster. Lane trying to fire back.
Referee Mark Lyson was keeping a close look at Ashley Lane, but fair play to Lane. He came back well off the ropes. Takes another uppercut inside there from Foster.
And it was almost identical, wasn't it? The first shot that knocked him down there.
Yep. Fast hands, hasn't he?
He has, and again, it's just a little disguise in that right hand over the top. And when he dips that shoulder down, I think Lane's looking for the left hook of the body to be thrown.
Well, he threw a lot into that attack, and Lane's trying to come back, trying to rally.
Oh, lovely. I'm not sure if Foster just got a little nick on the left eye there.
Close look at that.
Oh, he's got caught himself there, Foster. He's looking nice and relaxed, though.
Yeah, he has. He's cut around the left eyebrow. Trying to get a closer look at that between rounds. I'm not convinced that it wasn't done by a punch. Referee will maybe indicate that one way or the other.
He's not winning the round here, Lane, but he's been good. After being hurt, he's done the right thing to try a good upper body movement on the ropes, trying to avoid the shots and try and get closer to Foster.
Solid body shots, two thudding left hooks coming in from Foster. And right cross as well. He's doing a number on him here. Great work again. Flashy attacks from Brad Foster. Lane really having to dig deep at a very early stage of the fight.
What I'm impressed with, for a young man, how focused and relaxed he is. I know he's dominating, but he's looking like he's got my other guy on the brink of getting him out of there. And he hasn't sort of panicked and tried to rush his work. He's staying nice and calm and relaxed.
A very mature young fella is Brad Foster, not at all fazed by being up there on the big stage.
Good right hand there, though, from Ashley Lane. Oh. A little left screw shot he throws Foster. It's a beautiful punch.
And he likes to switch it, doesn't he? He appears to be almost ambidextrous, appears equally potent with either left hand or right hand. Good round again for Foster.
And he doesn't pull it, he doesn't force it over, he whips it over.
Did well to stay on his feet, Ashley.
Yeah, but he lets the weight of his body and the weight of his head get the power, and the speed is just with the whip of the arm. So a great shot.
Already he's had a knockdown in the opening round. Brad Foster, the British champion, just 21 years old from Lichfield. And he's added 2 rounds surely on all the judges' cards since then.
Lane trying to just trying without rushing too close and walking into him. He's trying to get close. Put a bit of weight.
Referee has told us, Barry, that cut was caused by an accidental clash of heads.
You can see it, to be honest, especially with the switch hitting of Foster. You can see that being the case. Nice sharp right hand there from Foster. A little bit of a lazy jab from Ashley Lane.
Meanwhile, a little bit more marking around that left eye of Lane's. It's markedly reddening, and Not bleeding as yet, but there's quite a lot of bruising around it and damage towards the corner of that left eye. Oh, good shot again.
Just want to say he's waiting a little bit too long here, Foster, but just so confident and relaxed he is. That's good from Lane. No good upper body movement there from Lane.
Lane knew what he had coming to him. He was full of praise for Foster's progression to the British title.
Well, he's not winning the rounds here, Lane, but he's doing enough to survive. You know, he's a little upper body movement there, just offsetting the rhythm of Foster. So when he is getting a bit of success, Lane just puts him a little bit off his rhythm.
Lane was close to packing in boxing a couple of years ago, but he's found a new focus since moving down Bristol way.
And winning a title, winning a title changes that. You know, it really changes your whole mindset about everything. Lovely work though again there from Foster, nice and relaxed.
Not to be understated, the quality sparring that Lane's had as well in that Sanagar gym, in there with the likes of Lee Haskins, Lee Selby. Lane just boxing his way into that a little bit more in that fourth round. Some fighters are more relaxed than others in the run-up to big fights. Joe Joyce in action a bit later on. I'm hearing whispers that he's arrived at the stadium, but his gear didn't.
Well, luckily, I brought a spare kit in my car, John, if you want to wear my shorts, my old shorts.
Be interesting seeing Joe Joyce in your shorts. Waistline might be similar nowadays.
Be the first real boxer to wear them. I took it out of your mouth, John, just in case you were going to say that.
In action against Alexander Ustinov, the huge Russian, later on in our principal support bout to the World Super Middleweight title fight. Billy Joe Saunders topping the bill. All the time, the crowd here at the Lamex Stadium building.
Trying there, you know, he's moving on the target and trying to work the jab. But just the hand speed and the foot speed of Foster's just a little bit too sharp for him.
I say this with a certain degree of trepidation after some of my observations about matters of climate in previous events, but all talk of showers seems to have gone away. We've got blue sky overhead.
John, why did you say that?
Positively balmy. That's the conditions rather than me. Before you say it.
Just can't find a way in, can he, Lane? They're moving around, they're trying to pop the jab out. And Foster, you know, he hasn't done a lot in this round, to be fair, but he still looks nice and relaxed. Again, popping in with little single shots like that, they're the ones that you're taking note of.
Put a lot into it in those early stages when he got Lane going, did Brad Foster?
He did, John, but I don't think because he doesn't load up with anything, so I think everything he throws is nice and relaxed, and he uses the body weight to produce a bit more weight in the shot. He transfers the weight from one side to the other, rather than tense up with the arm and use all that power to push through the punch.
I agree, all 3 rounds since that early knockdown going the way of Brad Foster.
Yes.
Body shot, right hand from Ash Lane.
He was saying he worked his way into the fight. Foster, though, has won every round so far since that opening round knockdown. It does look as though that cut isn't going to be too much of a problem for him. It's a lack of finishing power that perhaps has blighted his early career. Just 3 knockouts from his 10 victories. And really, a bigger puncher perhaps might have had Lane done and dusted so far, but he's still in there, and we go on.
Don't do overwork. You don't need to. It's a 12-round fight. There you go. Breathe. Breathe. Fill the lungs.
It almost looked as though Brad Foster took a round off in that last one.
6. Yeah, the output was less, but I think because Ashley Lane just upped the pace a little bit, was a little bit more busier. And again, I don't think he had loads of success, Lane, but he was the busier of the two. I still think that the quality of those single shots from Foster was probably still enough for me to nick him the round, but a closer round, and that's a good sign for Lane.
Well, is he now going to start trying to put his foot on the gas a bit more, Foster? His dad in the corner, Martin, aware that he'd allowed his work rate to drop a little in that 5th round. Foster trying to put the Lane trying to put the pressure on.
Oh, he's been doing that from the first belt, to his credit. But also he's been hurt and he's been tagged a few times, so he knows he just can't rush forward to close the gap. That's been beyond intelligent work, beyond double jabs.
What a splendid suit that Tyson Fury's wearing over there on the far side of the ring. Had a shirt to go with it. I saw him earlier in the week, and on that shirt, faces of all the world heavyweight champions of years gone by.
Unbelievable. Good left hook to the body there from Lane. Also good, some fantastic upper body movement as well there from Foster. It's got to be a little bit busier again though here, Brad Foster.
Is that the sense that Lane is slowly but surely at this point just clawing his way back into this fight a touch, and Foster needs to perhaps re-establish dominance? That's a good body shot. And again.
Good right hand there from Lane. Oh, and again, cracking right hand.
Oh, it's unfortunate. Keep him up, says the referee, just when Lane was trying to put together a concerted attack.
And he had him in the right spot as well, Lane. He had him on the ropes, and he just took a little step to the right, so he was on the outside of the jab of Foster, and he could go to work there, Lane.
Chris Sanagar shouting the advice in that Lane corner. And he was about as gutsy as they come back in his fighting days.
He really was. Oh, good right hand again there from Lane. He's having a good round here, actually.
This is his best round of the fight so far. And maybe the first one that he's taken, assuming the judges are seeing it as we are doing. Good round for Lane.
It's a very different fight now, isn't it? Ashley Lane has withstood the early flurry from Brad Foster, including that first round knockdown.
We'll start to use it then.
Now, a slight bit of concern, perhaps, in Foster's corner. He's well ahead in terms of rounds. With half of the scheduled fights still to go, you never know. Much better, though, from Lane as round 7 approaches.
First round might have slipped away from the British champion, Brad Foster. Good work at times there from Ash Lane.
Well, he had him on the ropes when he wanted him. That's the good right hand there. Foster just switching off a little bit, but I think he didn't do enough work there, Foster. When he does work, it's the quality's coming from him. But Lane just out-hustled him, and I didn't give Lane the 5th round, but he might have picked up the last 2 rounds there, actually.
Well, he has been the man on the front foot. Ash Lane keeps on trying to come. And stating the obvious, maybe some judges will be impressed by the guy who looks as though he's the one who's forcing the fight. And Lane is now the one who is trying to move forward, trying to perhaps provide a little bit of old man experience to claw his way back.
Oh, good shot there from Foster, lovely right hand. And a good chin there as well from Lane.
Yeah. Stopped him in his tracks, didn't it? But he took it so well.
Well, Foster stopped throwing the jab, and that's what was offsetting Lane to get any sort of momentum to come forward. Every time he took a step, the jab was keeping him off balance and then setting him up for the better shots. He stopped that now, and that's allowed Lane. Lane has taken advantage of that, and he's closed the gap.
And only too happy to try and prosper through that slightly more swarming style that he has. And of course, if he's able to get into close and to smother the work of Foster, that is clearly going to be favouring the smaller man, 5'4" Ash Lane. Here again, working in close, you get the impression that the better work was coming from Lane.
And it is, and again, you know, so far it's quality over quantity, isn't it? Because some of those beautiful shots at the beginning of the round from Foster were standout shots, but Lane's been the guy who's just continued letting his hands go.
Yep.
Hustling. Oh,
good shot. Good left-hand lead, that one from Lane, and again. And they're getting a little bit excited and interested now in that Sanagard corner. A real sense that Lane is coming right back into this fight.
Oh, good left hook there from Lane.
Quality.
See, that's the problem, especially when you're young. You get set in a rhythm. Now Foster stopped throwing the jab the last. It's like the third round now. He stopped jabbing. You feel you get into a rhythm now, and this is Lane's sort of fight. Even though Foster's still doing good work, he's allowed Lane back in.
Lane came into boxing as a kid because he was bullied.
Good shot, he's hurt Lane there.
And his knees went there, Lane. How did he stay upright? Almost looked as though he was going to sink to the canvas. And Foster knows it, and he's trying to keep the power on here in the 7th round. But there is some real guts about this man, Lane.
And he knows how to survive as well, Lane. Look at that, grabbing around the head. Oh, the left hook there again there from good shot to the body.
Well, that huge attack coming just when the round looked as though it was going Lane's way, but the quality work there coming from Foster. With that attack at the end of the round, did he take it?
Yeah, he got it, John. It was all the real quality came from Foster. Lane was the busier, but that little insult was more than enough for Foster to take the round.
There's that right hand.
And he was just getting some real good work in there, Lane, and sort of smothering everything that Foster was throwing, but walked onto a good right hand, and then Foster at last went to work. And some of the quality shots, and again, you've got to admire the durability and survival instincts of Lane.
He naturally goes through the gears, though, doesn't he, Foster?
Yeah,
when he gets an opportunity, he really looks to step up the pace and capitalise.
All he needed in that little onslaught was a little whip hook to around the body. That's all he needed. A whip left hook around the body. And I think he might have dropped Lane to his knees.
Round 8.
So if the judges are seeing it the same way as Barry, Brad Foster firmly in control so far as the scorecards are concerned, but it was an interesting round, that 7th, because Lane was dominating early on, but then the really flashy work in the closing stages from Foster. And there you see how Barry's got it right now, by 6 points.
Well, I think that 5th round could have... Oh, good uppercut there from Foster. I think the 5th round could have easier gone to Lane, to be honest. But I think apart from that, and that round again, I think that's Foster's round for that onslaught and the quality. You have to give it to him.
The blood from the right nostril of Brad Foster. Long way to go. 12-round fight. A lot can still happen. There can still be twists and turns as the fight becomes more grueling.
But the thing is, it hasn't been grueling for Foster. He's been a little bit quiet. Maybe taking a little bit of a breather or conserving some energy, but it hasn't been grueling for him. it's been a good pace set here by Lane. But he hasn't made a real physical affair, has he? Not for the want of trying, though, John.
No, he's kept on coming. And just when he looked as though he was getting a foothold in the fight in that 6th round, which he probably won, Foster maybe has found enough just to discourage.
But if Foster goes back to using that jab again, then he starts to take down the pace and he makes it easier for him. Just looking at the pot shot a little bit, Foster. There's better from him. Again, they're both working away, but the heavier hands are coming from Foster.
Yeah, the quality, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just greater accuracy, just a little bit more snap in the punch.
And you almost feel for Lane, because he's really trying. He's having a bit of success, but then it's being matched and maybe slightly bettered by Foster.
Pro since 2011, Ash Lane, and how he wanted to win this British title. He's the first man from Northampton ever to get beyond English title level. Close round, but Foster maybe just doing enough again.
Yeah, for me again, John, I think.
You've got a box like you just...
A bit more quality and a bit more snapping in his shots. And again, Lane just doesn't stop throwing punches, really from bell to bell, and you've got to commend that and admire that. But I just think the better work, even when it is sometimes punch for punch, the better work and the quality is coming from Foster.
Only 4 rounds remaining after this.
You understand? Cut it up. Now, step around. Cut it up. Boom, over the top. All right? Now listen to what I'm saying. And then hold him on. Hold on to it. Yeah? We put it on. Get on it now. Listen.
6 seconds. Seconds out. Round 9.
Oh, the overhead shot, which proves that I'm not fibbing about that clear sky. Gamble to put an open-air fight on in May, not a bit of it. Of course, this time last year we were at Leeds for the Josh Warrington fight, and it was a pretty lovely night then as well.
Oh, great night.
Kaiser Chiefs and all that.
Oh, it was fantastic night. It's good body work there from Lane. And again.
He's had little spells in this fight where he's really done well, Ash Lane. Needs to have a sustained period of dominance if he's going to have a chance of somehow getting himself out of this fight as a winner.
He's in the middle of the ring, he gets caught sometimes, again with sharp right hands and stuff, and they stand out a little bit more, and that's better. Move your head coming forward. Get a little bit lower maybe when you're doubling up the jab.
The amateur clubs like to hear their names mentioned, so a little shout out for the Far Cotton Amateur Boxing Club in Northampton, where Ash Lane came from.
Good from Lane, lovely 1-2, and a little harder step out.
Just outworking Foster a bit at this stage. Big effort from Lane in this 9th round.
Just got to keep that concentration now, actually, there. No silly mistakes. And Foster just got to, again, start letting his hands go. That's a good shot there from Foster, lovely punch. Where's the left hook to follow?
Very cute with that right hand, Foster.
Good footwork there from Foster, just making the miss with a couple of shots. Again, good right hand.
Foster not done a lot in this round.
Yeah, and again, he's been pot-shotting and picking some lovely single counters, but again, so far it's been a busy and effective round, I think, for Lane. Problem for Lane, he's not really making a dent on Foster. That's the big issue for him.
Good round for Lane. The older man maybe pegs one back.
You're dropping them fucking hands. You're making it harder work.
Here any language which gives offence in the corner. Apologies for that. But you know how it is.
You've really got to watch the pace, all right? What's this, 9? What you've got to really have tonight? You've got to win all 4, all right? You've got to win them big, all right? What's on it?
Championship round.
All right, come on,
You've got to win it big
after the
from
first
here on
45
in.
seconds, get on his track.
When you're in charge,
When he's 30
Ashley Lane.
all right? You'll know, that's when you go.
Seconds out, round 10.
10th round of this 12-rounder for the British and Commonwealth Super Bantamweight title. British champion Brad Foster in the black and red shorts against the Commonwealth champion Ash Lane. There's how Barry's got it, significantly with Foster to the good.
And to be honest, as hard as he tried, I can only really give I could give one more round to maybe change one more round over that 5th to Lane. So I still think Foster's in a healthy lead. Shot.
Took a body shot as he came in, did Foster, and landed with another really sweet right hand.
You know, some of the shots he's taken tonight, Lane, it's hard to believe that 4 of his 8 losses have been stoppages. He's shown a fantastic chin.
He has shown a lot of determination.
And to get hurt and get dropped and regroup, well, it takes a lot of character there.
Of course, for him, this is like his world title fight. This is great opportunity. Looking to do, as I said a few minutes ago, what no man from Northampton has ever done before, and win a British title. Remember Alan Bosworth, he only went as far as the English title. Ash said that as a kid, a 16-year-old kid, he once went in the ring with Bosworth, and he couldn't believe how hard he hit him.
Oh, shot there from Foster. Even though he's winning most of the rounds, Foster, and winning the fight for sure. And he's shown some lovely skills and good power, and he's picked his punches well, so it's very hard to be critical. But I just think the second half of the fight so far, he's paced himself too well. He could have been, I think, just a little bit busier.
Respectful, maybe, of the experience of Ash Lane, who's shared the ring with some good names, people like Yafai, like Gavin McDonnell.
Good there from Lane. But he's been kept a little bit quiet with the foot movement here from Foster.
Well, Foster doing enough for that round?
Yeah, for me, John, I think Lane was the quietest I've seen him so far in this fight. I think it was the footwork of Foster just slowing him down a little bit.
Nicking the fucking rounds.
Maybe the writing on the wall now for Ash Lane. And has he got the big punch to turn it around? Maybe not. It's a good right hand from Foster. That's been his most damaging punch right the way through the fight.
Yeah, it has, and I think that might have been a bit of a problem for him, because once he has quite a bit of success with that right hand, he sort of forgot about the left hand.
That's Ash Lane's Commonwealth belt. Is that going the way of Brad Foster, who already has the British champions Lonsdale belt?
Right? I want the biggest 2 rounds of your career.
Second out, round 11.
11th round. Foster well ahead on our cards. Foster in the black and red shorts. Foster, of course, still just 21 years old. I mean, his 11th professional fight. Big one for him. I mean, this is a big experience for both these guys.
Yeah, of course it is. This is both they've got a good right hand there from Foster. It's both a big opportunity to shine, of course it is. And when Lane's been in the shadows for so long, winning that Commonwealth title sort of put a bit of light on his career at last, so he didn't want that to end. And you can see that by the performance, how hard he's tried to push the pace.
He's still trying to battle his way back here, Lane. He's been told by his corner, this is what you've been preparing for, this is what you've been working for, and he finds a headshot. Good right hand, and Foster, just for the first time for a while, wants to buy a few seconds.
And for the first time, he's a little bit of pressure telling there from Lane, a lovely right hand and a left hand to finish it off.
Championship rounds, and imploring Lane to keep the pressure on. They're telling him, you can still do it.
This is where you got to try and walk Foster back to the ropes, use a bit of that physical strength, the older man. Good footwork from Foster, but some good shots landed as well there from Lane on the ropes. Using the jab well.
But not with that big one-punch power, Lane. I'm told by Mark Lyson for punches around the back of the head.
So he's just getting inside that right hand though, isn't he, Lane?
Lane may be doing enough to win this round, though. Despite the fact that Foster's back up on his toes and producing an eye-catching left hand as the last scoring shot. Hello, what's that about? Well, that's a bit out of the script that we've seen in the fight so far.
Good round from Ashley there, just when he needed it as well, John. Oh, it's a great shot, really is. Just didn't quite connect fully with the left hook follow-up, but a lovely nice little right uppercut there from Lane.
Lane did really well in that round, I thought.
Yeah, he did. Really gritted his teeth and pushed the pace.
I'm not sure what this was about at the end, though.
No, I don't know. Unless Lane's talking to him, I don't know, but there's so many need for it.
Here he is.
All right?
Come on. Is that working your shots? I'm boxing now. Yeah? Get your shots.
Just a loss of concentration maybe from Foster. Sometimes things like that, not always only directed at your opponent, might be born out of a wee bit of frustration. Last round. However far he is behind, if indeed he is behind on the judges' cards, has surely narrowed it in that 11th round.
Yes, most definitely. And you know, for me, I can only give him, I'd give him that 5th round again and shorten it by another point, but that would be enough for all the effort, and it's been a tremendous effort from Lane. I still think for most parts of the fight,
is kind of the closest you could make it.
Yeah, and I think so for me, John, at the minute. Oh, using the shoulder there, spotted by the referee.
Maybe a little bit of uncertainty in Foster about going the 12-round distance. Certainly Lane is looking perhaps the physically stronger in these closing stages.
Well, I just think he had so much success with the right hand early on, and you know, throughout especially the early, like up to the middle part of the fight. Then I just think he sort of thought, I just got a pot shot on and set him up for the right hand, so he forgot to use the jab.
You see it in fights, don't you? You know, a guy gets somebody going in the early stages, as Foster did, and repeatedly you're looking for a repeat shot.
Of course, yeah, and you get set in a rhythm and it's hard to get out of it. But well, they're digging deep now, both of them. See, for me, I think this is where Ashley should have had the fight earlier on. Made it a real rough affair. Trying to just empty the tank of Foster. Well blocked, keep his hands up nice and high there, Lane. Blocking that double left hook there from Foster.
Working away in close, and the better work again coming from Lane as they stood toe-to-toe.
The right hander there from Foster.
Oh, he's hit him with a low one, though. Oh, my word. He caught him with a right hand as he sank down, but a low shot, and he'll be given time. He can get 5 minutes. And it looks as though he needs to take as long as he can. Well, I think he heard in no uncertain terms what he thought of that.
Oh, it was low, he was. Right on the button, as they say, John.
Yeah. Made his eyes water.
Listen, Lane's an honest pro. He won't fake anything.
And he wants to go on. Remember New York. Sometimes fighters say enough's enough. Lane wants to go on though. Oh, good shot, right hand from Foster, and this time down emphatically, and that will surely end all debate. Fast right hand again, and is it going to finish right now? The bell's coming up, but Foster wants to finish it on his own terms. Another huge right hand, and he's done it with just a moment or two remaining in that 12th round. Foster gets it. There was the low punch, the first knockdown, and then the second big attack, and the referee Mark Lyson said enough is enough, and the stoppage win. Brad Foster adds the Commonwealth belt to the British belt, which was already his. Interesting fights, but they are furious about that low blow, and Ash Lane and his cornermen, Chris Senegar in particular, not one bit impressed by that.
No, but I have to say, even though there was only maybe, what, 6-7 seconds left on the clock, good stoppage from the referee, because Lane had tried so hard all throughout the fight, and he'd been hurt. He was absolutely exhausted, John, and I think it was a quality stoppage from the referee. He wasn't firing back, and I feel sorry for Ashley there, because he deserved to go the distance, he really did. But
nothing wrong with the stoppage, Barry, but he could have taken longer to recover from that low blow.
I know, but he's an honest pro, and he got hit, and he took as much time as he needed, and he wanted the fight on. I don't see the issue with it, to be honest. He took as long as he thought he needed. The referee didn't pressurise him to say, no, get up, there's no rush about it. He took the rest, he said, I'm okay, let's fight on.
Well, here comes the first knockdown. Bang!
Oh, it's a great shot. And I don't know, he got up again. we said it all night, how well he's taking the shot. But I don't know how he got up from that. I really don't.
Was a great
look
punch.
at that. It's
really was.
Legs. And again, after the fight where you've tried so hard, you're absolutely exhausted, a heavy shot like that, that's the last thing you need this time of a fight.
Well, perfect first round. And I guess from Brad Foster's perspective, perfect last round, and that's a well-timed intervention.
It is, because the referee could see his eyes. He went down heavy, he got up a little bit slow. And as brave as he's been, Ashley Lane, he wasn't fighting back on the ropes. And I think whatever, even if there's half a second left on the clock, the referee got to do what he thinks right at the time. And I think that was a disappointing end for Ashley Lane, but a perfect stoppage, I feel.
He's a confident young man, Brad Foster, and he is the winner here. And what a spectacular way to end it.
I think it was a great performance from Foster, especially early on in the fight. He looked really sharp indeed. And I just think that, he's still a work in progress, of course. But I think there's plenty for him to work on. But I think that's a great win for him. Another great win after Josh Ware was a fantastic win. It's another good win. And he might have a little bit of a star in the making here.
All three judges, I am told, had Brad Foster a long way in front, a 5-point margin when that end came. And Thomas Treiber now has the microphone in his hand to confirm. Here's Thomas.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 58 seconds of round number 12. Our referee in charge, Mark Lyson, steps in, stops the contest as the red corner in no condition to continue. Therefore, your winner, and now the British and Commonwealth Super Bantamweight Champion, Brad Foster.
The pride of Litchfield, eh? Brad Foster, the winner again.
So a fabulous victory then for Brad Foster, just 2 seconds from going the distance there, Ashley Lane. But he was always on course to lose his Commonwealth Super Bantamweight title. 2 bouts now for Brad Foster. The British Super Bantamweight champion becomes the Commonwealth champion. A convincing victory. Had Ashley Lane down in the first and the last rounds. A couple of big punches as well that Lane survived, did terrifically well, and it's a shame for him. He did in many ways deserve to at least go the distance, even though the inevitable result was going to be a victory for the impressive Brad Foster. And it's just the 4th stoppage of his career. It's 11 wins now, no defeats, just the 1 draw, the only blemish on his record. But a 4th stoppage now for Brad Foster, and his first since December of 2017. If he can add a finish to the rest of his game, he is going to be some fighter. The 21-year-old, the Blade, from Litchfield in Staffordshire, cutting through Ashley Lane. The Flash couldn't live with him. Shefat Isufi. I'm hoping to hear very shortly from Brad Foster.
I got a Commonwealth strap as well as my British now, so it's all good, it's all good.
What a great start, though. You caught him with that right hand in the opening round and had him down.
Yeah, I caught him with a lovely shot. It was just a little short one. Nothing in it, really. It just caught him. He was surprised with it, so he got down on that. And then I kept on trying it, but it was tough. He worked me out and he kept on coming forward, so yeah, and then I landed in the last round, so all good.
Richie was just saying, throughout the course of the fight, he was so impressed with the way that you go through the gears for somebody with so little professional experience. When you get a guy going, you really do go for it.
Yeah, well, I'm always fit. I mean, I've had a terrible camp. I fought for the British title in my last fight in March, and then I had like a week worth of sparring, and then I didn't spar, so I ain't sparred for this fight really. And to get him out there with shots like that, I'm happy with myself. I had to make sure I was really fit, so yeah.
Tough guy you were in against, and at times he was clawing his way back. But talk us through that last round.
Well, I always knew it was tough. He's a Commonwealth champion. I wouldn't expect nothing less. But yeah, in the last round, my corner team and Frank, when he went down, so I hit him low.
Naughty low one.
I didn't think it was low, but he did, obviously, and he had a little break. And then Frank said to me and my team, went, walk in and throw the right hand, and I did it, and he went from it. But hats off to Ashley, man.
Well done, a winner, and that's what counts.
Yeah, that's what counts. You got the win. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all my sponsors. Thank you you to the Brads Barmy Army. They come down and make loads of noise. So yeah, thank you. Chuff.
And 2 belts. Well done.
2 belts.